You pick it up without thinking. You do not even remember deciding to do it. One moment your hand is at your side, and the next, the screen is lit and your thumb is already moving. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a small, ancient part of you sighs with relief. This is not a bad habit. It is not laziness or weakness or some failure of modern character. What is happening when you reach for your phone is far older than any device, far deeper than any app. Your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. The problem is that it was built for a world that no longer exists. Here is what nobody tells you. The urge to check your phone is not driven by technology. It is driven by the same neural circuit that kept your ancestors alive on the open savanna 2 million years ago. And once you understand that circuit, you will never look at your phone the same way again. It starts with a concept called information foraging theory. In 1999, researchers Peter Paroli and Stuart Card at Xerox PARC proposed that human beings search for information the same way animals search for food. Your brain does not treat data as abstract. It treats it as a resource, something to be hunted, something you might need to survive. Think about what your ancestors actually needed information for. Was the predator still behind the ridge? Did the fruit trees across the valley ripen yet? Had anyone from the tribe returned from the hunt? Every piece of incoming data was a potential survival signal. Every gap in knowledge was a potential threat. Your brain evolved a powerful, automatic system to close those gaps as fast as possible. Psychologists call this the information gap. The term was formalized by Carnegie Mellon professor George Lowenstein in 1994. His theory is simple. When your brain perceives a gap between what it knows and what it could know, it generates a feeling, not a thought, a feeling, an itch, a low-grade anxiety that builds until the gap is closed. Sound familiar? That buzzing in your pocket is not a notification. It is a signal that a gap has just opened. Something happened somewhere that you do not know about yet, and your ancient, survival-tuned brain treats that gap the same way it would treat the sound of something moving in the tall grass. It does not wait, it reacts. But here is where it gets stranger. The feeling is not actually about the information. It is about the possibility of information. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz spent decades studying what he called prediction error signals in the brains of primates. What he discovered changed how scientists understood dopamine. The brain does not release dopamine when you receive a reward. It releases dopamine in anticipation of a possible reward. The moment between the trigger and the outcome. The gap itself. Your phone has been engineered to live inside that gap permanently. Every notification sound is a trigger. Every red badge is a cue. Every pull to refresh is a lever you pull, not knowing what is coming next. The reward is unpredictable. Sometimes it is nothing, sometimes it is a message from someone you love, sometimes it is a piece of news that shifts your understanding of the world. The variability is not a bug in the system, it is the entire mechanism. B.F. Skinner demonstrated this with pigeons in the 1950s, when he gave a pigeon a food pellet every single time it pressed a lever. The pigeon pressed the lever at a steady, moderate rate. But when he made the reward random, intermittent, unpredictable, the pigeon pressed the lever compulsively. It could not stop. The behavior did not decrease when the reward became rare. It intensified. Psychologists call this a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. It is the most powerful behavioral conditioning mechanism ever discovered. And it is the architecture underneath every social media feed, every email inbox, every news app on your phone. Your brain is the pigeon, your phone is the lever. But there is a second layer, and it is even older. Human beings are the most social species that has ever lived on this planet. Not social in the casual sense, profoundly existentially social. For the vast majority of human history, being excluded from your group meant death. Not metaphorical death, actual death. You could not hunt alone, you could not protect yourself alone, you could not raise a child alone. Your survival was entirely dependent on your standing within a community of other people. Your brain never forgot that. It built an entire monitoring system dedicated to tracking your social position. Are people talking about you? Did someone react to something you said? Are you still inside the group, or have you drifted to the edges? Psychologists call this sociometer theory, a framework developed by Mark Leary in the 1990s. Your self-esteem, he argued, is not a measure of how you feel about yourself in isolation. It is a real-time readout of how accepted you believe you are by the people around you. Every like on a post is a social signal. Every comment is a status update. Every time someone tags you, shares your content, or responds to your message, your sociometer registers it, and your brain, running software written for tribal life on the African plains, treats each one as information about your survival. This is why checking your phone at a party feels so urgent. Your brain is not being rude. It is performing a social audit. It is asking the question your ancestors asked every single morning. Am I still in good standing? Am I still connected? Am I still safe? The cruelest part is what happens when nothing is there. You pick up the phone, the screen lights up, no messages, no notifications, no new information. You set it down. 30 seconds later, you pick it up again. You already know nothing is there. Your rational mind knows this. But the ancient circuit does not operate through rational awareness. It operates through compulsion. And because the last time you checked there might have been something, and the time before that there was, the lever keeps getting pressed. There is research on exactly this moment. A 2016 study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that the mere presence of a smartphone, even face down on a table, even switched off, reduced available cognitive capacity. The brain was quietly devoting processing power to the possibility of the device, not the device itself, the possibility. Your phone does not have to be in your hand to occupy your mind. Now here is the part that changes how you see yourself. None of this is weakness. None of it is a character flaw unique to people who lack discipline. The most focused, the most disciplined, the most accomplished people on the planet feel this pull. Because the pull does not come from your personality. It comes from a 2-million-year-old information-seeking, socially monitoring, gap-closing survival system that is running quietly in the background of everything you do. The engineers who built the apps on your phone did not invent this system. They discovered it, and then they built their products precisely around it. Variable rewards, social signals, infinite scroll, the red notification badge. These are not features, they are levers, engineered to keep a very ancient part of your brain in a permanent state of foraging. Understanding this does not make the urge disappear, but it changes what the urge means. When you feel that pull, you are not failing, you are being human. You are running ancient software in a modern environment, and the environment was built by people who studied exactly how that software works. The question is not why you cannot stop checking your phone. The question is what you do once you know the answer. Because right now, tonight, when you feel that familiar itch, that low voltage pull toward the screen, you will know what is actually happening. Not an app wanting your attention, not a social media company manipulating you, something far older and far stranger. A 2-million-year-old animal scanning the horizon, looking for movement in the grass, asking the same question it has always asked. Is there anything out there I need to know about? There might not be, but your brain is going to check anyway. It always has.